You're tuned to Radio Kidnappers, the voice of Hawke's Bay. This is the program called The Wonderful World of Wardini Books. And for the fourth time, it's good to be here with the wonderful Lou from Wardini Books in Havelock North. How you going, Lou?
Very well, Ken. How are you?
Good. I'm recovering from a cold, as you are.
Yeah, we're all full of snot.
Everyone.
It's great.
Everyone's got it, haven't they?
Yeah.
Anyway, you've got 3 new books for us to have a little look at. And the first one is I Am a Tiger.
I Am a Tiger by Carl Mewson, or it might be Newson with an N, and Ross Collins. But this is the attitude that we all should take to life, really, because does that look like a tiger
No,
to
it
you?
does not look like a tiger, but
It's an extremely deluded mouse.
the mouse that roared.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that, and it is quite like that, because on the very first page he says, I am a tiger. And what's that, like a raccoony thing? Says, no, you're not. A tiger is much bigger than you are, and it has a bit more grrr. So he then proves that he has lots of grrrs, and he grrrs about all over the place. And they just keep saying, but this and but that, and he just refutes everything. A tiger can climb a tree, can you? I could climb a tree. I could climb to the moon if I wanted to, you know, and he's just like, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
And so he is just totally convinced that he is a tiger, and he goes about growling at everything. And off he goes to hunt for his lunch, and then he actually meets a rather large stripy tiger who says, no, I am a tiger. Is he cowed? No. He says, you're not a tiger, you're a mouse. Look at your tiny twitchy nose. Look at your little hands and feet, and I'll bet you had cheese for breakfast. And he is still the tiger. And they're all like, well, what are all these animals then? So he looks at them and he goes, furry, stripy, funny looking face. Which that's the raccoon. Yeah. This is a caterpillar. Long red, likes to bounce. It's a fox. But no, this is a balloon. And he's just got
I love it.
A whole different reality. Eventually, he sees his reflection in the jungle pond and realises that he's not a tiger. Oh my God, it's obvious. Look at those teeth, those claws, that tail. It's obvious. I'm a crocodile. And off he goes to work. I just love him.
I love that book.
He is fun. He is deluded. He is completely different. And who cares?
Yeah. And
if you want to be a tiger, be the
be
tiger.
a tiger, that's right. And it's one of those books as well, like if you're making animal noises, to my grandkids, I say, what noise does a dog make? And I go, meow. And they say, that's not what a dog does.
Silly granddad.
That's a great book. Tell us all about Live a Little.
Live a Little, which we noted earlier, has the most wonderful cover, which is a cross-stitched Death and Hearts cover. This is by Howard. It's either Jacobson or Jacobson. I always say Jacobson, but it might be Jacobson.
Yeah,
I don't know. Could be anglicised. Right. But this is set in England, in London, and we are with 90-something people, as in years, not 90.
Oh, right,
sorry.
Yeah, so
there aren't 90 people. There are 2 people who are
90 years old.
90 odd. So Beryl Dusenbury, and she sits up in her apartment, and she's got 2 carers, one African lady and one Eastern European lady. And it's fun. It's beautifully written. The prose is very tight, but the characters have all got sort of quite left field ways of looking at life. And Beryl, she's got children. She's got 3 sons. She only really likes one of them. And she's got a hell of a backstory. She's been married several times, had many lovers, all photographs everywhere of her many lovers. And she spends her days cross-stitching morbid things onto her dressing gowns and stuff like that. And then you've got Shimmy Carmelli, which I just think is the best name ever.
Isn't it?
And he's in his 90s as well, and he's just about to turn 90, I think. And he's never married, and his brother was always the popular, the fun one, and Shimmy's always been, sad and morose because of something that he did when he was a child that he's always felt terrible about. So it's the teasing out of these 2 stories, and they meet, but they don't meet for ages. They don't meet until about halfway through the book, and then the way that their worlds collide is just marvellous. So it's a beautiful piece of writing. They are very funny, and I like to read about old people because they give me hope for when that life doesn't just stop.
Yeah.
You've still got a rich inner life, even if you're not able to do all the things that you wanted to do when you were younger.
Quite. And what did you give that out of 10?
Oh, it was great. It was a good 9 out of 10.
Yeah, that's very good from you. Yeah. And the last book is The Rise of the Ultra Runner. Which of you are one of those runners?
Oh, I only did 1, but anyway, we won't talk about that. The Rise of the Ultra Runners, A Journey to the Edge of Human Endurance. And this is by Adharanand Finn, and he is a British writer, and he wrote for The Guardian, and they asked him to write an article about ultra running. So he decided he was going to do the Ultra Trail Mont Blanc, which is one of the biggest ones, you know. So he's running 160 kilometres,
Wow.
I think.
Incredible.
There are cut-off times and all that kind of thing. But in the year up to it, he runs, oh God, how many does he do? Several ultras in order to qualify for the Ultra Trail de Mont Blanc. And it is just what he goes through. He's a sub-3 marathon runner. He's a really good marathon runner. But then how does that translate from running 42.2 kilometres to
over 100.
105 miles?
Wow. That's a big
In
run.
the UTMB, yeah, it's massive. But the way he writes it is he's got a really good tone. So he's sometimes very confident about what he can do, and he's sometimes like, why the hell am I doing this? And he's sometimes talking about, you know, you really have to dig into that pain cave, you know. And there's just some absolutely fascinating bits in it. So if you are an ultra runner already, you would find it fascinating. If you aspire to be one, it would either make you say yes or no way. And also just from a look at the sport in general and how it's becoming more popular, people aren't happy with just doing a marathon anymore. We have to push and push and push. And why do we do that? Are we just masochists, you know? Why do people do this?
If you're not a runner, you'll enjoy it anyway.
I think so. If you've got, and it is the human endurance thing, you know, what
Yes.
can we put our bodies through without actually dying, and why do we do it?
Exactly.
Yeah, and the politics as well, the politics around the sports industry.
Yes.
So that's quite interesting.
Fascinating.
Too. It was brilliant. Couldn't put it down.
Be right up your alley.
Yeah, and yours, perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we want to get one of these wonderful books, just remind our listeners where Wardini books are.
We are 16 Tomato Road, Havelock North, and 44 Hastings Street, Napier.
Good on you, Lou. As always, our pleasure. You look after yourself. We'll talk to the same time, same place next time.
Cool. Thanks, Ken.